So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about that feeling, that awful sinking feeling when the code that was perfect on your machine suddenly catches fire in production. You know this moment. I know you do. You got the approvals. CI was a beautiful wall of green check marks. Everything just worked. And then 10 minutes post-deploy, your phone starts buzzing. The pager's screaming at you. It feels totally random, right? Like some cosmic joke. But it's not. There is a reason. And if you can wrap your head around it, you'll start building systems that actually survive in the wild. Okay, first things first, we have to frame this problem correctly. Because honestly, most of us have spent our careers trying to solve the completely wrong problem. Look, I've been there so many times. It's that 3 a.m. page. You're staring at a Grafana dashboard. The lines are going in all the wrong directions, and you have absolutely no idea what's happening. You feel like you missed something simple, but the truth, well, the truth is always messier. And here it is. This is the mental flip we have to make. We're all trained to ask, how do I write bug-free code? But that's not the right question for reliability. The real question is, why do systems fail in production? Because production isn't just your laptop with more RAM, it's a completely different animal. So to really get that difference, we need a better mental model. Turns out, production has a handful of special properties that your staging environment just can't fake, no matter how hard you try. There are 5 of them, just 5. And these 5 conditions, they are the secret ingredients behind basically every surprise outage you've ever had to deal with. First up, concurrency. See, your tests, they run one after another, all polite and orderly. Production, it's a mosh pit. A query that takes 8 milliseconds by itself might take 4 full seconds when hundreds of other requests are clawing at the same database lock. That's concurrency at scale, and you only see its ugly side under real-world load. Second, your dependencies are liars. Not on purpose, but they are. That local database you have with a few hundred rows, it bears 0 resemblance to the production one with 80 million rows and an index that's been fragmenting for 6 months. Your staging API doesn't have the same crazy latency spikes. Production dependencies are chaotic and they have no mercy. Third, and this one is a killer, accumulated state. Your tests get a fresh, clean slate every single time. Production though, production carries years of baggage. Little connection leaks that only matter after 3 days of uptime. Caches that slowly get stale. It's the grime. The system grime is what eventually brings everything crashing down. Number 4, be honest with yourself. When's the last time you actually tested your timeout handler? Or your circuit breaker's fallback logic? The very code that's supposed to save you when things go wrong is almost always the code that has never, ever been run before the actual emergency. And finally, number 5. This one's a bit more subtle. It's not knowing what good actually looks like. If you haven't defined what normal latency is or what a healthy error rate is, you're flying blind. You can't spot a slow decline. You only find out there's a problem when a customer complains, and by then, you're already way behind. All right, enough theory. Let's make this real. I want to walk you through a post-mortem, a real-world outage, and show you exactly how these 5 properties team up to create a total disaster. So here's the scene. A team ships a new feature on a Wednesday. Everything looks great. For a whole day, it's quiet. Then Thursday morning hits. The European and US user traffic starts to overlap. Load ramps up, and things start timing out. Within an hour, the service is completely dead. So, what the heck happened? It was a classic cascade failure. First, real dependency behavior. That big production database chose a terrible, slow query plan that took 18 seconds to run. That kicked off concurrency at scale. Those 18-second queries held database connections open, starving the entire connection pool within minutes. And for the knockout punch, untested code paths. The client's retry logic didn't have any backoff, creating a retry storm that just hammered the service to death. The lesson here is maybe the most important thing you'll ever learn about running systems in production. We are wired to look for the one thing, the single root cause, the one bug we can point to. But that's a myth. Production failures aren't a single villain. They're a conspiracy. It's a perfect storm of conditions that are totally harmless on their own, but become absolutely catastrophic when they line up just right, which only ever happens in prod. So what does that mean for us? It means our job isn't just to write code, it's to anticipate these conspiracies. Before you merge that PR, you have to start asking these questions. Forget the happy path. What happens at 10 times the load? What is the absolute worst case behavior of that API you're calling? Which error handling blocks in this code have literally never run? This is how you start to think like an operator. Okay, so what do you do with all this? How do you put this into practice tomorrow on your team? It's actually way simpler than it sounds. Here it is. This is your new checklist. Before your next deploy, just stop. Stop and name 3 things in your change that are different in production. A dependency, a traffic pattern, some accumulated state. And for each one, you ask, what's its worst case behavior? That one simple habit, that's the difference between shipping with confidence and just shipping with hope.